Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Williamson. Let's talk Steelers Colts. But I think this is the most interesting side of the ball when Indy has the football. Their offensive line's really starting to grow on me, although they do have some potential injuries we need to monitor there. They have a very, very good running back. I like their three receivers a fair amount. And Richardson is, as you'll see, all over the place, but obviously extremely big, strong, fast. But boy, completing passes is an issue for him. And my biggest key to this whole game is just limiting Colts' explosive plays. You know, Richardson chucking 170 yards downfield to Pierce. Taylor breaking a tackle and taking it to the house, or a 40-yard gain. Richardson runs over a linebacker and goes 25 yards. No explosives or minimal explosives. And they are an explosive offense. Steelers have been great about that, though. And their defense looks phenomenal. Let's get into the numbers. They average 6.3 yards per play. That's only behind Baltimore and Green Bay. But the Steelers only allow 4.6. Only three defenses are better. In terms of EPA per play, which I very much believe in, they have the best defense in the league, as well as the best against the run, which is going to be huge in this game. Colts offense is third best in the league per EPA, but as you can probably imagine, 26 points allowed and 229.7 yards per game is the best of any defense. They only use two personnel groupings. 11, they've used that 78% of the time, and 12 with two tight ends on the field, 22% of the time. The Colts have scored on a league low 14% of their first half possessions. That could be big. The Steelers allows a series of downs to convert into a new series of downs or a touchdown 63% of the time, which might sound like a lot, but that's the best in the league. The Colts are running the fewest offensive plays per game. On average, their offense runs just 50 plays per game. The next lowest is Buffalo at 54.3, and a lot of that's just them sitting on the ball, the Bills, you know. Indianapolis is converting 32% of their third down attempts, 26th in the league. The Steelers' defense is best in the league, allowing 21.9% of third down conversions. They have been awesome on third downs and red zone, Steeler defense. Let's get into Richardson here. He's attempted only 157 passes in his career. But he is an 8.0 yards per attempt. That's sixth best in the league. I mean, he will chuck it deep. His time to throw of 2.97 seconds is sixth highest. And his 12.6 average depth of target is the highest in the league. He's going to throw the ball down the field. But he only has 36 completions all year. It's the smallest amount of any quarterback that started all three games. On dropbacks with 2.5 or more seconds to throw, Richardson completed just 4 of 11 attempts for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. He's completing just 33% of his passes 12 or more yards downfield. Think about that. Only 33% of them, 12 yards. That's not that far. And his completion percentage of 49% is by far the last in the league. He's thrown 6 interceptions already. He's lost 2 fumbles already. Pretty brutal. And only 5 defenses have a better completion percentage allowed than the Steelers. So they don't allow a lot of completions on a percentage basis, and he doesn't complete hardly any. This episode is brought to you by BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From NFL to college, BetOnline is every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to online casino and get in a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE, all caps, BLEAV, and get in on the action. BetOnline, the game starts here. Michael Pittman. For you the guys that have been playing fantasy, he has dried up immensely. He has less than 5 receptions and fewer than 36 receiving yards in every game this year. And going back to last year, he hasn't scored or gone over 50 receiving yards in 5 straight games. He only has 88 yards this year on 20 targets. And it's not his fault. He's a really good player. Josh Downs is a player I like a lot. He's a slot. Returned to the lineup in week 3. He had a team-high 25% target share with 5 passes thrown his way while running just 16 routes. He played 32 of a possible 41 snaps when they were in 11 personnel, but didn't appear on the field for anything else except for their 11 with 3 receivers out there. But with him returning, Adonai Mitchell basically got put to the bench. Alec Pierce is their tall, fast, straight line, outside the numbers, go route guy. He has a 22.5 average air yards per target, which is highest in the NFL, and 41.7% of his targets have come 20 or more yards downfield, which is second, only behind Rashid Shaheed in the Saints. But the Steelers have only allowed 1 catch this year of 20 or more air yards downfield. They play a rotation of tight ends. To give you an example, the 3 tight ends that they play were all between 20 and 31 snaps last week. So that's a bit jumbled. Jonathan Taylor was not targeted in week 1, but in each game since has received a double-digit percentage target share. And he went out on 91% of the route or the dropbacks last week. So they're incorporating him much more in the passing game. Only the Bengals are blitzing a lower percentage of time than the Pittsburgh defense on 3rd down. And on early downs, only 4 defenses blitz at a lower rate than the Steelers. You're probably aware of this. TJ Watt is a half a sack away from 100. And Reggie White got there in 96 games. Watt's played 107 career games, so he has 5 games in which to get that half sack. And if he does, White will be the only player in history to get to 100 quicker than Watt. And as I've told you, Reggie White came in the league after some USFL time, so he was older. He was more in his prime. I'm not saying Watt's better than White or anything like that, but I do think his rookie year was not normal and is noteworthy. He's had a sack in every game this season, and his 50 sacks since 2021 leads the NFL. TJ Watt's pretty good. Cam Hayward now has 81.5. That moves him past James Harrison for 2nd place on the Steeler all-time list behind Watt. Taylor, he's a really good back. He's got 100 or more scrimmage yards in 4 of his last 5 games. 5 games in a row at home with a rushing touchdown. Scored twice on the ground last week. He played 49 of a possible 56 snaps last week. Of the 35 running backs with 25 or more touches, Taylor ranks 7th in yards per carry, 5th in explosive run rate, 3rd in rate of runs that gain a first down or touchdown. Only J.K. Dobbins, remember him, averages more yardage before first contact per attempt than Taylor. Good line, good scheme, and when he gets free, look out. He didn't play the last time these teams met, but if you recall, the Colts rushed for 170 yards in that game. Richardson, also a great runner. They don't use him a ton, though. He has 35 or more rushing yards in 5 of 7 career games and has rushing touchdowns in 4 of 7. He only has 9 designed runs, which is 6th amongst quarterbacks, and his scramble rate on designed pass plays is only 11th at his position. They should run him more, but he had a hard time staying healthy and finishing games as a rookie. Only the Ravens allow fewer yards per rush attempt than the Steelers, and just 1.6% of the rushing attempts versus Pittsburgh go for 15 or more yards. Only the Patriots are better. They're also the last remaining team that has yet to surrender a rushing touchdown. The Steelers' defense has yet to give up a second half touchdown, giving up just 2 field goals in the second half of games through 3. On average, Pittsburgh's opponents are generating only 93 yards of offense in the second half of games. So if you remember, Colts offense isn't scoring early. Steelers defense isn't allowing anything late. Last thing I got here, 19.3% of the Steelers' defensive snaps result in a sack, a fumble lost, an interception, or a pass defense. Something bad for the offense. Only the Vikings, Texans, and Packers are better. All right. As you probably have gathered, I like the Steelers in this game. A lot of it's because I think the Colts defense is really, really bad. But a lot of it's because I think the Steelers defense is really, really good. I have the Steelers winning 23-13. But explosives, this O-line, if Richardson gets it together, or makes a ton of big plays, or Taylor goes for 150, or something goofy happens on teams, or Fields turns into a pumpkin and starts making mistakes and taking sacks, it's of course a losable game. But Steelers are a better team, and I don't think this is a great matchup for the Colts. So again, 23-13 Steelers.